Good morning. Welcome back to Bigger by the Day, getting from shredded to hopefully one day looking somewhat like an actual bodybuilder. Although that process is going to take time, good things take time. So, not really feeling my best this morning, which is going to happen. This is, you're not going to wake up every single morning and be like, okay, I'm ready to go kill the gym. It's just not the reality of it. So, it's really important on those days in particular to just be like, all right, let's not be a fucking bitch and go do it anyway, because that's what's going to separate you from the people that want to be in the position you hopefully eventually are. And having that ability to turn off your emotions and be like, okay, I'm just going to go in the gym and fucking kill it anyway. And it doesn't have to be the gym. It can be anything. For me, it's the gym. So I'm just going to get up, go to the gym, fucking kill it anyway. Got probably my hardest session of the week. So that doesn't make things easier. But there's something to having the ability, that mental ability to overcome that. That's going to translate in all areas of your life. So we have our leg day today, leg day one of the sort of programming, which involves a bit of hack squatting. And for those of you who hack squat, you know how much of a fucking difficult exercise that is. So something we just got to bite the bullet for. Like there's no real reason I woke up poor this morning. I slept sort of the same as I have been in the past. Keeping in mind my sleep hasn't really been that great, and I'm not exactly too sure why yet, but I've been waking up. I was sweating and stuff. I spoke about the methylene blue and the 5-HTP interaction. I pulled it out and it still sort of hasn't resolved. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. Whether I'm also taking GH, so 4 IUs before bed. I don't know if that's having some sort of interaction with the sleep and causing me to wake up, but I'll slowly try and figure that out. Could just also be the increased androgens in my body getting used to a higher testosterone level. But once I figure that out, I'll make sure to let you know, and hopefully it can help someone too if anyone has gone through that. But if you have any idea as well, please let me know in the comments if GH has impacted your sleep, if you have tried it, pre-bed. I know a lot of people say GH timing pre-bed in a bolus dose is the best protocol. I've also read, it gives people sleep disturbances, and there's probably a few pathways as to why that's the case. But yeah, I'm sort of just trying to navigate that at the moment. Other than that, everything is going very well. This morning, I woke up at 92 kilos. Yesterday, I had a little bit of an extra meal because I was still fucking hungry as fuck, even though my food volume has been insanely ridiculous. Like I'm having potato and sweet potato with all my meals and like 3,300 calories worth of that. So it's genuinely like a salad bowl worth of potato, sweet potato. And then I'll sort of volumize it even more with things like zucchini, cucumber, tomato. So it's a lot of fucking food. It's like, I think I prepped like 5 kilos of potatoes for 4 days worth of food. So it's a whole lot of food, but I decided to have a little bit more, and I can get away with it. I didn't have anything stupid or anything. I just had like 80 grams of oats with a bit of YoPro and blueberries. So still clean, still good food. I was just like, all right, I'm feeling a bit hungry. I'm going to have a little bit more. As long as you're not doing that every single day, it's not going to really matter too much. Like it's 80 calories extra per day. And now's the time to do it. I was locked the fuck in with my diet for ages. So a lot of people would be like, all right, I'm going to go get a burger in Macca's or KFC. Whereas I opted to have an oat bowl. So crucify me if you want, but I don't think that's the worst thing I could be having. But yeah, on my way to the gym, had my pre-workout. Hopefully that gives me a little kick, a little help, given that I'm not feeling the greatest this morning. I'm assuming it will. I can start, I'm starting to feel those beta-alanine tingles coming along, which I fucking love. That sort of shows that I'm a little bit of a drug addict. Not really, but I like something that makes me feel something. Bro, that sounds like I'm so depressed. I promise I'm not depressed. It's just I like having some sort of stimulatory feeling, hence the caffeine addiction, hence the history with substances and partying and things like that. So yeah, that's one of my favorite things, those beta alanine tingles. But yeah, hopefully this series is going to be like the pathway to me getting to like, I think a cool number in my head always since the start of bodybuilding was like 100 kilos in good shape. That's always really been an allure to me. I don't know why, but like 100 just feels like you're not a small human. Whereas anything under that, I still feel like I'm a wannabe bodybuilder. So we're shooting for that 100 kilos in good shape. Like not doesn't have to be like shredded or anything, but like, abs, like still look like a respectable bodybuilder. You can tell you go to the gym. Some of these guys who are 100 kilos, you're like, do you even go to the gym? It sort of just looks like a washed out mess, which is what we don't want to be doing. And it's going to be counterproductive anyway if you are doing that. So yeah, keen to get to that triple digit number. That's that's the goal in this growth phase, I reckon, while not being a fatty. And then we'll see how we look, and then hopefully like that gives us a gauge as to, if there are shows in the future or the near future. There will be in the future, just depending on how long that takes. We'll come up to the look. So yeah, keen to train some legs. Well, not really, but I do love going to the gym regardless of how I'm feeling. It's something that's obviously just a part of my weekly routine, my daily routine. When I don't go to the gym, I feel genuinely fucking wacky and I feel like my day hasn't really been completed. So that's ultimately the point you want to get to with your gym journey is if you haven't gone to the gym, your day's not complete and then that's an issue. So creating those habits is super, super important. But yeah, other than that, there's not really too much exciting to report on. Have a little filming to do later on today, a little bit of editing. I might do some meal prep later, depending on how much food I've got. Just started working with a meal prep company, so that should come Wednesday, and then I can sort of allocate my proteins, cook the carbs up because I'm only getting protein sources from that meal prep company, which is awesome. Because that's probably the most annoying part to cook. Like it's easy to just chuck on some rice or potatoes, and those things are things you're going to be manipulating more than the protein sources for the most part, anyway. So makes my life a lot easier. And yeah, I'll definitely show you guys that when it does come. Give you the details of the company if you want to potentially order and things like that. But Wednesday we have a trip back to Melbourne, Victoria, where we're originally from, going there for a funeral. So likely going to prep a few meals, hopefully take them on the plane. Hopefully they don't take it off me. Um, and then maybe cook some while I'm there as well, because we'll be staying with family. So that'll be pretty easy and accessible. But yeah, going there Wednesday, coming back Thursday, little short day trip. I couldn't imagine really going anywhere further, especially when you're on a meal plan and things like that. It'd be an absolute nightmare to pack, 20 meals worth of food like that. I don't even know how you do that logistically, but yeah, mine's a little bit easier than the people in those situations. Today's focus in this session is, for me, really importantly, I've been listening to a lot of stuff about, and I've spoken about it in the past before, you can lift a weight or you can actually make sure that the target tissue is firing correctly and lifting that weight. So in this session in particular, body parts I want to bring up, I really want to make sure I am getting that sensation. I'm getting that drive through those body parts. I'm not just moving the load for the sake of moving the load. And, people that are a lot higher in the space than me, like your Chris Tuttles and stuff, talk about the importance of that and their physiques progressing tremendously when the emphasis was shifted from just moving weight to moving weight with the intended tissue. So our hack squats, we're really going to make sure we're driving through that quad. Our adductors, we're going to make sure we're using them from the start of the movement, not just fucking bringing the weight in as hard as possible. So I think that's something I'm going to benefit from greatly. If I don't, so be it. But yeah, that's the plan there. Just pulling up to the gym now. Hopefully it's not too busy in there. Shouldn't be, because I'm training a little bit later this morning. I got set back a little bit. Oh, not even honestly set back. I just took my time a little bit more, let the meal digest a bit longer, because I feel like in the past when I do my leg days, I've eaten too close to training and then I can sort of get burpy and stuff and that cream of rice taste in my mouth, while I'm while I'm training, legs in particular, is not a fucking nice feeling. So gave myself like an hour and a half, 2 hours today. Probably not two, probably an hour and a half. Usually it's a little bit quicker because I'm impatient as fuck. So a little bit more time, and then we will hopefully be in a better position to also digest that carbohydrate powder during training as well. So, all right, that is the plan. Let's fucking rock and roll. Get locked in, listen to some music, and smash some legs. It's important I grow them because they're little sticks. I'll see you in there. All right, boys. Exercise number 1 is the hack squat. Typically, I'd be doing an adductor, but it's taken. So I just don't have the patience at the moment to wait for a machine, particularly when people are taking their time on it. Nothing against them, just can't be fucked waiting. So we're going to start with the adductor. We're going to start with the hack squat, 4 sets here. We'll do our warm-ups, probably 3 warm-ups first, get the knees going, and then we'll do that first set where it's sort of just like a intense warm-up, 10 reps, and then we'll up the load, 2 heavy sets, 1 back off set. Got these little wedges here. I tried this last week where I put these at the bottom, and it really improved how the hack squat felt for me. Ankle mobility and getting that knee flexion is a real issue. I often get lower back pain and stuff like that just because of my biomechanics on it, and probably lack of stretching and stuff like that because I'm lazy as fuck. But these have made a world of difference. So gonna run it with these, see how we go. Fuck yeah, that's feeling real nice today. So hopefully we can beat last week's reps with better form. All things considered, probably like 1 more rep there with like decent enough form. Probably would have slacked a little bit, but those are the reps. I'm just probably not willing to take one from just a fatigue perspective and an injury perspective. I know when I take those last few reps or that last rep and my form breaks down, I just end up hurting myself. So happy with the intensity there, progress there, 10 reps. Last set here, did the 25% reduction. Make sure these are nice and clean, all in the quad. There we go, 12 reps there, 2 up from the last set. More control, more sort of sensation on the quad. So I'll take that as a win all day. Happy with those sets. Sometimes you don't even have to progress numbers week to week. Like this week I was like, okay, I'm focusing on making sure that execution is actually good. That way my knees aren't gonna hurt. Things aren't gonna take over when they need to be, not taking over. And I reduced the load from last week, but those were much improved reps. My quads are fucking lit up way more than they were last time. So that's a trade-off you want to make sometimes. 4 sets now on the adductor. Obviously this was meant to be the first exercise, but sometimes you just make do with, I guess, the environment you're in. So 4 sets here. We're doing the thing where we sort of pyramid up. We're going to go 4 sets. So first set, 10 reps, second set, 10, third, 10. And then the last one, however many we can get with 0 RIR, aiming in that sort of 10 to 12 range. So intensity increases as the sets increase. And then the last one's like the failure set. 10. Nice, pretty easy there. You guys know the drill. Then we up it, 2 minutes rest, try get that 10 again. All right, set 2, still should be relatively easy. We did up the weight this time, so it'll be a little bit harder, but should get this comfortably. 9, 10. All right, last set before our sort of failure set. Again, this should be an achievable 10. If it's not, I've fucked up and shouldn't have gone that much heavier this week. Should have just used the knob. I like knobs. Fuck. Yeah, a little bit heavy. So we'll keep it there for the next set and yeah, see how many reps we go. But a little bit heavier than it sort of should have been. All right, hamstring exercise today. We have the lying ham curl. Typically, I prefer the seated one, but in saying that, it's good to sort of have some sort of variety within your programming. So today's one, lying hamstring curl, 3 sets here. First 2 sets is sort of just move as much load as possible, obviously while trying to maintain form. Nice. We're not overly concerned with it for these top 2 sets, but then that last one is where we're really just going to try to squeeze it in, make sure it's 100% in the hamstring. And yeah, I mean, not too much else can be working here unless your hips shoot up, which mine typically do. So aim is to try to keep those hips down. I think that was 11 there. And I felt like the form was good. I'll have to watch it back and confirm, but happy with that set. Holy fuck, I just watched that set back and I wish I'd done this years sooner, film directly behind, because my right foot is not fucking, what's the word? My ankle isn't getting enough dorsiflexion. So my left one is fully dorsiflexed. My right one is down like a limp dick. So obviously that's going to cause imbalances and some of the issues I've had, you know, my knees and my hips in the past. So big conscious effort now to make sure that right foot is actually dorsiflexing properly, because that was pretty severe, to be honest. And I think it had a little bit of internal rotation as well. So externally rotating and dorsiflexing, making sure it's even.